I am Amanda Adams. I work for the Frederick County Health Department, Behavioral Health Services, which is also the local behavioral health authority. I'm the hub coordinator. We really appreciate you joining us tonight to learn more about the services and supports for school-aged youth and their families here in Frederick County. So this evening, you'll have the opportunity to hear from 13 different organizations that are providing those services for this fiscal year. So we will jump right into it. Unfortunately, due to time, we will not have time for questions today. However, my contact information, as well as each of the organizations' contact information, will be on the slide, as well as on the website. So if there are follow-up questions, you can directly reach out to them, or I can connect you as well. So giving just a little bit of background on the hub, the Maryland General Assembly created the Maryland Consortium on Coordinated Community Supports, or the short acronym MCCCS, as part of the blueprint for Maryland's future. The goal is focused on accessing mental health and support services for school-aged youth and their families. The Maryland Community Health Resource Commission serves as the consortium's fiscal agent. So you hear some of those terms mixed interchangeably. The consortium has been around since 2021, I believe. So they are now in their second grant year, and they are working to expand access to behavioral health services for all Maryland students from pre-K to 12th grade. There are some links here to learn more all about the CHRC, as well as the consortium and the blueprint for Maryland's future. So we'll talk more now about locally what that means for us. So during this fiscal year, which is fiscal year 26, it's running from July 1st of 2025 through June 30th of 2026. The Frederick County Local Behavioral Health Authority was awarded a pilot hub this year, which means we are right now working through some deliverables, which I'll talk about. The consortium created a hub and spoke model as depicted on the bottom left-hand corner of this slide. The hub being a local behavioral health authority or a local management board in each jurisdiction. And then the spokes are what I referenced as the organizations that are providing the direct services to students and their families. So this year, we were awarded 13 different spokes or organizations that are serving the students here in Frederick County, totaling about $5.6 million in supports and services. And at this time, since the hub is currently still in a pilot phase, the consortium is still providing oversight to those organizations. And we do have a webpage now, so that will be linked as well. If anybody wants to take a look at that, it talks more about the background of the consortium, kind of how we got here, as well as the hub, and identifies all 13 spokes through there. All right, so we are going to jump right in. Each spoke is only going to have about 5 minutes to give you a little information about what they're doing this year, but I'm excited to turn it over to the Laurie Center. So give me 1 second and I will, I saw Marianella here. I will bring her on to. All right, Marianella, it's all you.
Okay, here we go. My mic was not enabling. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having us. We're happy to be sharing the endeavor of, the consortium and being able to impact our community through and through. I represent the Laurie Center, and here is also our executive director, Dr. Jimmy Venza, as well. And for those of you who don't know us, the Laurie Center has been in operation since 1982, and we have been impacting the community through a different array of services. I'm representing one of over 160 team members with a variety of educators, clinicians, psychiatrists, all of us helping our families in the community in many different ways. We have the Lowry Center School, which is a special education center. Lowry is a special education school, level 5, from kindergarten through 5th grade. We have the outpatient clinic as well, serving children and families from age birth through age 12. We also have the therapeutic preschool, both in Montgomery County and Prince George's County. And in Prince George's County, we're also serving through Head Start and Early Head Start. And in Montgomery County, we also are collaborating with MCPS with the Infants and Toddlers program. So as you can see, we have a wide array of supports, how we're bringing services related to the mental health. And a brief introduction about me. I am trained in clinical social work and early child education, and I've been with the Lowry Center for almost 10 years now. I started my clinical wings at the therapeutic preschool. I started as the classroom social worker, and then I switched just recently out of the therapeutic preschool, where I served as the assistant director for the last 5 years, and now the program director for the Circle of Security with Lowry Center. And just like many of you here, we are sharing the same mission. And our program, as you read on the slide, is a secure base in the classroom, supporting students, parents, and educators facing adversity. And for those of you who are not familiar with Circle of Security, it's an attachment-focused model. And our goal is to be able to bring a different perspective to parents and educators on how to support their children, whether it's at home or at school. We know that early preschool experiences play a significant role in elementary school readiness. And we also know that when children step into our classrooms with many developmental needs, emotional needs, behavioral, medical, and there are also some layers for a lot of our children that have experienced trauma, adversity, stress, the things that no child should experience. So we also know that emotional regulation is the key social emotional skill fundamental to learning. And we also know that parents, caregivers, and our educators are facing many similar stressors. They're facing burnout, and it's hard sometimes to show up in the classroom. So our goal with the Circle of Security model is to bring the awareness, to bring this frame of supporting the social emotional needs of our children through the attachment focus lens. We know that when they're developing their relationship, when children feel regulated, when they feel safe, when they feel calm, they're able to, to learn. So we like to say a calm brain is a learning brain. And our program, which expands, there's 2 phases. There's tier 1, where we're working with our educators. Developing is an 8-week model that builds from 1 week to the next, and that's virtual. We're on learning mode. And then tier 2, we are providing coach-based practice-based coaching, one-on-one with our educators. We step into the classroom. We're doing observations based on the teachers' selections, or who are they needing more support with, and our facilitators are able to meet with them one-on-one as well as a monthly group, again, to help the teacher be able to implement and become really comfortable and confident with their own capacity to support those needs. We're also running the Circle of Security parenting groups for our caregivers, because like I said earlier, we want parents, caregivers, and our educators to share the same language, to share the same approach, so they're able to support the child in the same manner. And when they're talking with each other, having that shared understanding of where they're each coming from. Earlier, what I didn't say is that while we're a first-year grantee with FCPS, with Frederick County, this is our second year with consortium. Last year, we were also in Prince George's, working with Prince George's County Public Schools, delivering this model. That was our 5th year doing it with them. And we have received so much positive feedback and so many learning lessons too throughout the years. But we're happy to be expanding into Frederick County and bringing this amazing model. Obviously, I'm biased, but bringing this amazing model and sharing it with our Frederick County Public School educators as well as with all of you. And if anybody has any more questions, or I see the cameras are on, so I guess time is up. So if anybody has any questions or more wonderings, please reach out. I'm always happy to talk about Circle and Lori Center. So yeah, reach out whenever you want. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianella, for telling us more about the Lori Center. We are going to keep moving now on to the Student Homelessness Initiative Partnership, or SHIP. And I believe I saw Melissa here.
Yep, I'm here. Thank you so much. We are SHIP, the Student Homelessness Initiative Partnership of Frederick County. That's a long name, so we lean into SHIP. We serve students who are experiencing homelessness all the way from kindergarten through age 24. But the program that's being funded by the consortium is our New Horizons program. That program serves middle school, high school, and early college students, and it provides them with wraparound services, including case management, while they're experiencing homelessness, with the goal of keeping them connected to education. We know that young people who don't graduate from high school are 3.5 times more likely to experience homelessness as an adult. So we want to make sure that we are keeping them connected and getting them across that finish line, and then on to whatever their next step is, whether that be college, trade school, employment, whatever they feel is going to make them successful in our community moving forward. By intervening early, we're breaking the cycle of homelessness and ending adult homelessness. So thanks to the consortium dollars, we have been able to continue to expand our long-running high school program into the middle schools. This is our 2nd year of consortium funding. So we are hoping by the end of this year that we will be in every middle school. We already are in every high school and many of the middle schools here in Frederick County Public Schools. We do have a strong partnership with FCPS, like all of the consortium grantees here do. And because of this strong partnership, we're able to meet students where they are and serve them on site in the schools. That really is a game changer for these services, being able to come to students and encourage them to remain in school in order to access these resources. Our young people can be referred by a wide variety of sources, but our primary referral source is the school itself. We are happy to take a referral from other agencies, from community members, but we always want to make sure that we are connecting one-on-one with that school staff to really make sure that we are serving the student in the best way possible and as a joint partnership, because our goal and the school's goal certainly overlaps. We want to keep them in school. We want them to attend regularly. We want them to be achieving grades that are passing and progressing in their educational pursuits. So we are more than happy to serve any middle or high school student who qualifies as McKinney-Vento, meaning they are lacking a fixed and adequate nighttime residence. This is a status that the school staff can give to our students. And as soon as they have that McKinney-Vento status, they are eligible for our services. You can certainly, if you know someone you'd like to refer, you're welcome to reach out to us via our website, via email, via phone. There's really no wrong door. We're happy to take a referral from any source. If a young person is under 18, we do require a parental consent, but otherwise there really is not much of a barrier. So we're really happy to be able to provide that service. We do offer at SHIP many other services. We offer housing services, basic material needs like hygiene, shelf-stable food, clothing. We offer service navigation. We offer, lots of other aspects to our programming. But here we are focusing on that New Horizons program, and our hope is that that program will continue to grow and expand, because we know that the earlier we intervene with our young people, the better off they will be long-term. I might be a little early, Amanda, but that's it for SHIP.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We will move next to Hartley House.
Hi, good evening. I am Jen Metcalf. I'm the Community Engagement and Prevention Director at Hartley House. And if you all don't know, Hartley House is an organization in Frederick County that provides services to victims and survivors of sexual violence, human trafficking, child abuse, and dating violence and intimate partner violence. And this is our second year as a grantee with a consortium working in Frederick County Public Schools. And it's been really exciting. Last year was really successful. And so we're excited to continue that work this year. And so what our work looks like is really an expansion primarily of our prevention work. And so we're working in middle schools and high schools in Frederick County with what we call Project Hearts. So Project Hearts is fully funded by the consortium grant. And what Project Hearts stands for, the Hearts is an acronym because we love an acronym in the nonprofit world. It stands for healing, empowerment, allyship, resilience, trust, and safety. And those are kind of the core principles, the core things that we want to bring to the students that we work with in Frederick County. And so we are offering education for 6th to 12th graders. We currently are working in four high schools, Tuscarora, Thomas Johnson, Frederick High School. No, I'm sorry, it says 3 high schools this year. But we're also working in those feeder areas. So the middle schools that feed into those 3 high schools, we're also in. So we're going to be hitting every student in Ballinger Creek Middle School, Presswood Middle School, West Frederick Middle, Monocacy Middle, and TJ Middle School. Every student in that, they're going to see us in 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. And then the high school students are going to see us in 9th grade for Health 1, and then they'll see us again in 11th or 12th grade for Health 2. And what we have are topics that align with grade level objectives for each of those grades that are part of the Health and Family Life curriculum as set out by the state and Frederick County. So for instance, in 6th grade, students are getting age level workshops on consent. They're learning about how to set boundaries, how to have difficult conversations with friends, how to say, maybe, I don't like the way you talk to me. It's really kind of giving them a skill set that a lot of kids don't have. And it also is fostering these pro-social bystander skills, like recognizing inappropriate situations and supporting others. And then when we get into 7th grade, now we're talking more about defining respect in a relationship, and then looking at some of those healthy and unhealthy behaviors in relationships. If you're familiar with One Love, we use a lot of their curriculum pieces that have been approved by Frederick County Public Schools for use in the health classes. So we've taken those core principles of that work that's already approved, and we're building out on it to really kind of meet the kids where they are and go a little deeper. Each of our presentations, each of our workshops covers 3 days. So we're with students 3 consecutive days. So day 1 is really kind of, they're getting to know us, they're getting to know our team. Day 2, they're feeling a little more comfortable, and now we're engaging them a little bit more. And by day 3, we're giving them some tools to actually put into practice what we've been talking about for 2 days. So it's a really great model, and we're really creating some good connections and getting a lot of good feedback. When we get into 8th grade, we talk more about online safety and how to be social media savvy. We play some games with them so they can kind of learn to recognize the red flags of suspicious behavior. We have a cute little game we play with them called Sus or Not Sus, and they have to kind of figure out, is this text message sus or not sus? And they really get a kick out of that. And then we also talk about how they can protect themselves from online grooming, and digital abuse and things like that. And then 9th grade, we really are getting more into dating violence prevention and really kind of talking more about romantic relationships. And what does an unhealthy relationship look like? And how can an unhealthy relationship then tip into abusive behavior? And then because a lot of times they're really starting to date, 9th grade, they really are starting to develop more of those romantic relationships and ties, more so than maybe in middle school. We also talk to them again about boundary setting. We're constantly talking about how to have difficult conversations, how to say what you want, what you don't want. And a really interesting piece of this 9th grade, one of the activities we do is we actually help them make a breakup safety plan. So we help them walk through and actually practice What would you say if you wanted to end a relationship? How can you make sure you're physically safe? And how can you make sure you're emotionally safe? So we're really giving them a lot of tools that I know a lot of us probably as adults wish that we had had when we were that age. And then once we get to 11th and 12th grade, we really are wanting to send them out into the world with a really solid understanding of what consent is when we're talking about sexual relationships and really getting into more specific and targeted sexual violence prevention at that age. And that workshop addresses common misconceptions around assault, and it reinforces the critical components of true consent. And we also, of course, as you all know, we have to collect data. So we're getting a lot of good feedback on our surveys. We're really seeing them understanding these principles and these objectives that we're talking about. We're also going to be launching in January a club at TJ High School. It's called the MOST Club. And this is an evidence-based program that engages men and boys as allies in violence prevention. And the club is going to be open to anyone. You don't have to be a young man to come to the club, but it really is looking at healthy masculinity and unhealthy masculinity. So we're excited to roll that out. We also, as part of this grant, in addition to the work in FCPS, we also have case management that we provide through Hartley House, through our community-based services, and we offer clinical services, so individual and group counseling for students and also for their families. And how students get connected to Hartley House is that they can be referred directly to us by a school guidance counselor or by a CAS worker. They can also reach out through our hotline at any time and talk to us and let us know that they're a student in FCPS. Everyone qualifies. And students don't have to be in one of our workshops to qualify for service. Our services are available to any student in FCPS and their families and their caregivers. So I think that is, I think I flew through that really fast, but we had a great year last year. We worked with over 3,000 students in the schools, in middle school and high school, and we're excited to see what happens this year. Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. All right, we are on to the Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lauren Laporte. I'm the Director of Development for Boys and Girls Clubs of Frederick County. We're an out-of-school time program, so we're currently serving grades kindergarten through 8th grade, students from 11 different FCPS schools. All of the schools are listed on our website, bgcfrederick.org, but we pick the kids up from all those schools and transport them to our 2 locations in Frederick, one site for elementary school youth and one for middle schoolers. So we're providing them a safe and positive environment when they're out of school. Of course, affordable childcare for families of all different backgrounds. And when the kids are with us, they get homework help and academic support, healthy snacks and meals, daily physical fitness time, character education, STEM education, a slew of other programs. But we are a first-year consortium grantee, and so the grant-funded programs we wanted to highlight tonight include the evidence-based curriculum called Positive Action, which teaches our kids that for every action there is a positive choice, and that making positive choices and thinking positive thoughts are going to support their mental and emotional well-being. So that's our social emotional learning program that all of our kids are participating for this year of the grant. They're getting those sessions weekly. And then for Tier 3 services, we're collaborating with Trauma Specialists of Maryland. And so we now have a professional counselor coming into those 2 club locations weekly to provide professional counseling services to a small subset of youth that we identified for that extra higher level of support. And the club is covering those costs in our partnership and the MOU we have with Trauma Specialists of Maryland. So professional counseling at no additional cost to the families. And of course, we're very grateful to be able to provide that support. And we know that youth mental health is so key right now, and the kids need that support now more than ever. So visit our website, bgcfrederick.org, for more information, and all the enrollment is through our online parent portal. And so there's a lot of good resources there.
Thank you, Lauren. All right, we will move on to our next, which is Shepherd Pratt.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Gildersleeve. I'm with Shepherd Pratt and I'm the director of our offsite counseling services program. I like to describe our program as really like the heart of it is tier 3 services. So our therapists are fully licensed and they're going into the schools to provide individual therapy. They will go into the home or community setting to provide family therapy. If you're getting services with us, you also qualify for medication management. So we have 3 child psychiatrists available that their therapist can make a referral to if that's needed as part of the treatment. We also have case management available if a child needs to be seen in our clinic setting by the psychiatrist. We can also provide transportation. We coordinate care with the school. So every student that we're working with in the school, we do have a release of information so that we can coordinate care with whether it's an appropriate teacher or administration, whoever is part of that child's treatment, and support as far as like working on their goals. We have a heavy emphasis on DBT skills in school. We can't do, obviously a full DBT model, but we do incorporate a lot of DBT skills as well as CBT. We also have TFCBT trained therapists and those that are trained in EMDR. The evidence-based training we're using through the consortium this year is the Stanley Brown. So we're really kind of focusing in on our safety planning with students that are having some more higher risk factors in the treatment. The clients or students do not need to have a diagnosis to be referred to us. It's just if there's any suspicion that they would benefit from it and they're not able to receive really weekly therapy outside of the school setting. So whether the family's just not able to make it to the clinic for appointments, or there's other barriers in place that might prevent them from getting their treatment. Our goal is to eliminate those barriers to ensure that they're getting treatment. We also offer tier 2 services, and those are mostly surrounded by group services. We work in collaboration with the schools to identify what groups they need, and then we kind of create them out of there. New this year, we are doing some more DBT groups, which we're excited about. We also have an attendance specialist who is able to work with students or families who you're seeing some attendance issues and maybe need additional support to gain more engagement to get the students to return to school. In order to access care, a referral can come from the school, a referral can come from anybody in the community, the referral can come from the parent. It does not have to come from the school. We also are serving or have permission to serve all of the schools in Frederick County. Right now, I think we are serving 53 of the schools. And to make a referral, you can go onto our website, you can call it in, you can contact Erica. So we also try and keep the referral process easy to eliminate any barriers.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. All right, we're going to go on to advanced behavioral health.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amanda Pinto. I am the site director with our Frederick County office. We are an outpatient mental health clinic providing individual family therapy, psychiatric services. What we are going to be offering this year is a program called FC STARS. It is a stand tall and remain in school. This particular program will focus on students K through 12 who are struggling with school avoidance, chronic absenteeism. We know that Frederick County Public Schools has done a really great job of focusing on this issue and have brought rates down, but still seeing some of those some higher numbers than even pre-COVID. And so really this has been a passion of our CEO for some time. And wanting to really focus on providing extra supports to Frederick County Public Schools. And so we will have a team. My team consists of 2 therapists, a mentor, and then they will have extra support from master's level interns as well. And, we want to focus specifically on building relationships, right? Focusing on that trust and rapport with the students and the family. We know that oftentimes absenteeism can be rooted in anxiety, potentially shame, maybe some strained family dynamics. And obviously we want to partner with the teachers and administration, the school administration to establish some open communication lines. We want to assess any of the underlying causes, whether that be anxiety, depression, maybe some bullying. And we want to help in bringing awareness and education to the family, to the client, and obviously to the school as well. We do plan to use a measurement-based approach in making sure that the services that we provide obviously can be measurable and hopefully show success quickly, so that we can build upon that success week in and week out. And of course, there will be a collaboration with the school, offering psychoeducation and how mental health symptoms can present as absenteeism, participate in school attendance teams or potentially multidisciplinary teams when possible, and advocate for some flexible accommodations as we're gradually working towards re-entry. Most importantly, I think too, is just going to be engaging families as partners, and that this is not just a student's problem, right? This is something that we can all work with together, provide parents with concrete strategies for supporting attendance routines, looking at what's going on in the home and how can therapy along with the additional support of a mentor help bring some education and some reinforcement. And then, of course, help families access outside resources if barriers do exist. We can help with some transportation assistance. And I'm just trying to see here. Also, we do have available a full-time psychiatrist as well as a nurse practitioner. So if that is an avenue that we want to explore and having an evaluation done, we can certainly make that appointment again as part of those wraparound services. The Frederick County Public Schools are the ones who will be referring to our program, and anybody in the Walkersville and Catoctin feeder school areas will be eligible for our services specifically. And that's what I got.
All right. Thanks so much, Amanda.
My pleasure.
All right. Next, we have Central Hispano.
There we go. Hi. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for convening this important meeting, and it's wonderful to hear what other organizations are doing in Frederick, and we look forward to collaborating. So Centra's been providing essential services to the community for almost 20 years, equipping and empowering the immigrant community to be thriving and contributing members of Frederick, and obviously to reach their full potential. So this includes immigration services, information and referral, application assistance, translations, assistance with ESL citizenship, computers, and literacy classes. We're super excited about Éxito. This is our second year. Éxito in English just means success, right? And we want to equip and empower our students to do the best that they can, right? So we aim to increase protective factors. We incorporate a STEAM component to better engage youth and decrease risky behaviors. So we are currently in 2 schools, Butterfly Ridge and Waverly Elementary, with 4th and 5th graders. And in winter and January, we will work with 2nd and 3rd grade students at the same schools, Butterfly Ridge and Waverly. We are offering an out-of-school spring-based session, April 6th to 10th, offsite, and we're excited about the opportunity to partner with a new organization for us and provide that, as well as a summer session, June through July of 2026. We have a new program coordinator, Dr. Marisol Torres Crespo, who's on this call as well. And we are just excited to focus a little bit more this term on behavioral health and supports for not just the students, but for the family members as well. I want to mention one last thing. An important part of what Centro does with the Éxito students is parents' workshops. So 2 per term per school, and offer them a variety of resources and information, including positive parenting, acculturation, and navigating systems. So that's kind of a quick overview of what we do as part of Éxito, and we thank you for your support.
Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, Mental Health Association.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adam Schleger. I'm the Director of Family Support Services at the Mental Health Association of Frederick County. I appreciate the opportunity to speak about a couple of programs under this consortium funding. As an organization, the Mental Health Association works to build a strong foundation of emotional wellness for the whole community by preparing resilient children, securing vulnerable families, and standing with people that face crises together. And this year, MHA is celebrating its 60th anniversary, so we're very excited about that. Currently, we offer 14 different programs at MHA, ranging from counseling to walk-in crisis, healthy families, childcare choices, and of course, the two programs I'm going to speak on tonight. So back in 2023, we initially applied for this grant funding and were awarded for this past school year to provide two services. First is systems navigation, which provides assistance to families with kids who have intensive needs and helping them navigate the complex systems of care. We have two systems navigators, one of which is bilingual, and they help to connect to resources for things like mental health, transportation, housing, and we have a specific emphasis on school avoidance under this funding. So both of our navigators have been trained by a School Avoidance Alliance to help address those issues. So upon referral over, each family is assessed using a validated assessment tool to identify any risk need areas, as well as the areas of strength for each family. And from there, they work closely with the family to develop a goal plan that they work on together. Systems navigation also serves as kind of a pass-through point for our second service under this funding, which is parent coaching. Parent coaching provides one-on-one coaching to families to improve parental skills and knowledge. It focuses on areas like child development, parental roles and responsibilities, behavioral issues, discipline. For that program, we have two parent coaches. We use the evidence-based curriculum, family checkup, and everyday parenting. The nice thing about both of these programs is its flexibility of time and place. Our navigators and our coaches, they're able to meet with families pretty much anywhere, whether they're more comfortable here at our facility, out in the community, or best yet, in their home. So it gives our staff a chance to really be able to meet the client and the family where they're at. We initially set this up to try to have single points of contact on both sides between FCPS and MHA. So our primary referrer are the CAS coordinators for FCPS. And what that helps us do is, keep that open line of communication, that ease of frequent and accurate information, making sure those referrals are going through and the families are getting contacted. We're being held to account on that as well. We enjoy a good relationship with them from this past year. So, we enjoyed the success that we had this past year. We're looking on building on that and expanding our services to even more families in FCPS. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. All right, we are on to the Parent Encouragement Program.
Amanda, I think you're still muted.
I apologize. Thank you so much. We are going to go ahead and move forward with Associated Catholic Charities, Villa Maria, and we'll circle back to PEP here in just a minute.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nikki Dozier. I'm the program manager for our family care coordination for disengaged students at Villa Maria. I'm in Frederick County, and this is our second year with the CHRC grant. And currently, we have 2 family care coordinators, both who are bilingual. Sorry if you can hear that behind me. It's starting to thunder outside. They are both bilingual. We are currently working with 10 schools at the moment. And that would be Lincoln, Hillcrest, Waverly, Butterfly Ridge, Monocacy Elementary and Middle, Crestwood, West Frederick, North Frederick. And we do have a couple outliers that are not in those schools as well. So we're kind of opening it up just slightly for a couple of students. And what we do is we target students who are experiencing chronic absenteeism, school avoidance, school behaviors, and we work closely with the community school coordinators and the PPWs as well. We also receive our referrals from the school personnel. We use a lot of different interventions. We use the FAST, which is the Family Advocacy Support Tool, and that helps us assess like where the families are, what their needs are, what their strengths are, and then we utilize those to help the family formulate a care plan. So those will be the goals that they would be working on to address some of the barriers that are causing the child to experience the absenteeism from school. So our main objective is to get them re-engaged with the school staff on all levels. We also use motivational interviewing as an intervention. And that's just helping the parents or the caregivers really tap into their own strengths, and try to get them to see that they're able to do this. Because sometimes, like we've heard earlier today, caregivers and parents are tapped out and they're tired, and so they just really need that support. And we have found that providing the parents with that kind of support has reinvigorated them to be more involved in what's going on with their children. And also getting them back into contact with the school too, because we've run into that a lot as well, where parents have given up hope, so they just disengage from the school as well. We also utilize expert and the student checkup as interventions as well. The student checkup, we use that along with the student subjective wellness questionnaire, and that's just so that the student can actually see where they are, and get an overall picture of where they are, where they want to be, and have them make short-term goals. We have had a lot of success. Obviously, we'd like to be successful with every student, but we also know that that's probably not humanly possible. But we do our best. I think that's pretty much it, Amanda.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you going a little bit out of order there. I believe that the Parent Encouragement Program is back with us now. So if we could go back to that slide. Elizabeth, I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm sorry about the whole issue. Good evening, Elizabeth, PEP Social Worker Outreach Manager, and it is a pleasure to join you all tonight. Thank you for being here, and I really appreciate it. For those of you who don't know the Parenting Encouraging Program, also known as PEP, it is a nonprofit organization based in Kensington, Maryland, and we have been serving families for over 40 years. Our mission is that children grow up in families where they are supported, encouraged, so that they reach their full potential and grow up to be confident, capable, and resilient adults and be contributing members in their communities. Our strategy for accomplishing this is to provide parents and caregivers with guidance, support, and tools through our PEP Family Resiliency Program, also known as PEP FRP, a free support group style 8-week program that gives parents tools and strategies that help them raise their children to be resilient, confident, and ready to succeed in school and later in life. In Frederick County, we offer the PEP FRP in English and Spanish as an online program. The groups are mostly facilitated by fellow parents who have been through the program themselves and receive additional training to become a program facilitator. Importantly, our program is open to all parents, although we work particularly closely with community schools to make sure that we reach families living in communities with high levels of poverty. Some of the topics that we cover in our program include the following: raising more motivated and cooperative kids, emotion coaching, helping children manage change and transition, understanding and supporting children's mental health needs, when to set limits and when to let go, and managing your own anger when it flares. All in all, parents tell us that because of PEP, they are more patient with their children, better listeners and communicators with their children, more confident as parents, and have better understanding how to be constructively involved with supportive of their children's schoolwork. If you would like to enroll in our program, just go to our website at pep-frp.org. About halfway down the page, click on the button for Frederick County. That will take you to an enrollment page. Our full session just started last week, but it's not too late to enroll for the fall if you do so right away. And we will be holding a winter session starting in February 2026 and the spring session in April. Thank you again for being here tonight. Your support means a lot. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions about the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thanks for hanging in there with us with some technical difficulties. All right, we are on to the Asian American Center.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, actually. My name is Nancy Noriega, and I am the Program Director for our Family Support Services Center at the Asian American Center of Frederick. The Asian American Center of Frederick, AACF for short, started about 20 years ago, and it was a one-woman show here in Frederick County, and now we are we're over 40 strong in regards to our staff. We are a agency that addresses social determinants, of health from cradle to aging in place. We also have amazing partners, community partners, that has allowed us to evolve into offering an early childhood education program at our center. We also have workforce mentoring and volunteering, and we also have a capacity of in-house of 20 languages, but with our language resources, we have 60 languages that we can help with. Every year, we have different cultural events, such as Asia on the Creek, as well as Lunar New Year. And this year, brand new to Frederick County, was the Mooncake Festival, which was a wonderful success, and wonderful to see all of our community come together for this. Our Family Support Services Center is actually the center that was lucky enough to house the CHRC project. And to speak in regards to that project, I will pass it on to Ms. Jane Tamanya, who is also joining us here today, that will give us more details in regards to that. Thank you. Jane, are you on? Or Miriam? There.
I do see them
Do you
both
see?
on. Yes, so maybe they just need a moment to switch over.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Jane Tamanya, and I'm speaking because Elizabeth Chung is hoarse, so I'm speaking for her. I'm a project manager. I've been working with this project, and the program is supporting the consortium goals to ensure quality upbringing and emotional well-being for the diverse immigrant community. Two aspects that are, I think, unique to the program are that this is done through the community health workers who have shared lived experience as immigrants, and they have shared languages and cultural and national understanding of the communities that they serve. So our programs are offered through the CHWs who have direct lived experience in common with the community and the families that they are serving. The CHWs, in addition, receive specifically designed trauma-informed mental health training offered by Dr. Shaheen Sebastian, who's developing a specific program so that the CHWs have the mental health information and experience and capacity to serve that aspect of the community as well. So we have this group of CHWs trained in mental health with shared experience with the community that they serve, able to provide programs in the language of the communities that they serve. The three programs that we are starting with are the wonderful Circle of Security, which strengthens the parent-child attachment and emotional development. You've heard about that already. That program is being offered. We're starting with 5 languages. And depending on timing, we may be offering more, but we're beginning with 5 languages. So that program will be offered to the immigrant community, to caregivers in the language that they are most comfortable hearing and speaking and having conversations in. The second program is Parent-Child Connect, which is offered by Dr. Wang, who has built a program that builds communication, empathy, and mental health awareness within families. We've heard strongly from our communities that one of the core issues is the taboo common in many immigrant families about talking about mental health, and these programs are designed to break down that taboo. The third program is the Photo Voice program, which engages middle and high school students to express mental health needs. It serves both as a focus group for us to better understand the needs and as a way for the students and community to express what those needs are. A wonderful thing about that program is that the CHWs are trained in the program, and then they reach out to their community and do the outreach to bring families in to go through the program, and then they teach the program again in the language most comfortable and easiest to work with for the families. We are doing the trauma-induced training for community health workers, as I said, for the CHWs, and we're serving Frederick County Public School students. Early childhood, elementary, middle, and high school programs are all eligible, with our priority populations being immigrant and refugee families, families with limited English proficiencies, and students who are identified by school staff or community workers as needing families needing help and or emotional support. I think that I'm done.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jane, for stepping in. We will move on to the Center for Anxiety and Behavioral Change.
Okay, thank you so much. Great to see you again, Amanda. And it's so great to be in the presence of so many people that have a shared dedication and passion for helping kids in Frederick County. I am Dr. Jonathan Dalton. I'm a psychologist. I started the Center for Anxiety and Behavioral Change in 2011, maybe a little bit different from other organizations in that we are a private practice, and we have offices in Rockville and McLean. So how are we talking about Frederick County? Well, I've been partnering with them for years, doing a lot of training. I specialize in anxiety-based school avoidance treatment. So last year was our first year with the consortium. Last year, we really leaned into training FCPS staff and personnel regarding evidence-based interventions for anxiety-based school avoidance and autism-based school avoidance. This year, we're really leaning into direct services for the kids. And so one of the things that that I was just at today, where I saw Amanda, is the Truancy Prevention Council, or the TPC. It's a wonderful, really unique organization in Frederick County. If you don't know about it, it's a really great opportunity for kids who are really dealing with a ton of difficulties with anxiety related to school, come in and actually get support and problem solving to help them to return to school and to stick the landing when they're back in. A couple things, just for people who are working with kids, just general knowledge. The level of anxiety, as we all know in the country among teens, is really high, but as an indication of just how high it is, even 20 years ago, it was 5 to 8 times higher than it was during World War II and the Great Depression. So that's the level of anxiety that we are seeing right now. For those of you who are working with this population, we know that through a lot of excellent literature that's out there, actually not just in the United States, but in the UK and in Japan, that between 40 and 50% of school avoiders are autistic, and most don't know it. And so if you're working with that population, please tune into that frequency, because we're seeing so much of that. We know that in the years after the pandemic, chronic absenteeism nationwide went up by about 93%. It's still about 56% higher than it was before the pandemic, and nationwide, we know that that the rates are continuing to be highly problematic in different age groups, but especially among the high school kids, where nationwide about 35% of all of our high school kids are missing 10% or more of their school days. So this is a huge problem. What we are doing is all we can do, and I'm thrilled to be able to do what we can do. But we are, so I'm up at the Truancy Council every other Tuesday, meeting with many kids and families, trying to give them guidance and hopefully point them in the right direction for services and support that can help them to stick the landing when they get back in. We also are able to provide intensive services, which is, I wish it could be more, but it's 3 hours in a row, and that happens on 6 different occasions. So it's 18 total hours of service for an active school avoider, and we have that for 3 different kids for the calendar year. We also have group therapy services specifically designed for school avoidance. We know how connection is so vital for mental health and for resiliency, and school avoidance is the antithesis of connection. So these groups are really designed to leverage the connection with each other, but also shared learning and a personal learning that goes on through having other people say, you remind me of me, and this is how I got back in. And so that is for 8 kids for the school year for that. We also have an evidence-based parent training group that's a mixture of space training and the Ellen Caston's work with what's really about more behavioral concerns. But we combine that, and we have, it's an 8-session group for 8 families, and we can offer 3 of those this year. Which is really something that is incredibly central to getting kids the services they need, is to educate the parents on what they can do differently. And we also find that really understanding the root cause or the etiology of the difficulties that present as school avoidance is absolutely critical, especially if we're looking for neurodivergence. Things like autism is number 1, but processing speed challenges, working memory challenges, other kinds of specific learning differences are really important for us to better understand that. And so we have funding to provide 3 full psychological batteries, and that's about 30 hours of time per battery for one of our licensed psychologists. to do that in that way. And so we find that to be really, really helpful. We're hoping to expand our services over time. It's a drop in the bucket, we know, but we are thrilled to be able to offer what we can. And with that, I can turn it back to Amanda. And if you're looking to reach me, my email, drdalton@changeanxiety.com. Our website is Change Anxiety. Again, we're a private practice. One thing I don't advertise, but to this group I would be happy to, is that we have a pro bono wing of our private practice called the Community Accessibility Program. And so each staff member gets 20 fully funded pro bono sessions a year outside of the pro bono work they're doing on their own. So it's really important to us. And so if you have someone, especially someone from a marginalized community who would need services in a pro bono way, we are always looking for people who can refer to us, and we can offer services in Spanish and Vietnamese, as well as English.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Dalton. And I'm glad everyone was on to hear that last little bit of extra information as well. All right. Last but not least, we have the Frederick Center.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for allowing me to be here tonight. My name is Keith Pollard. I use he, him pronouns, and I am here representing the Frederick Center. The Frederick Center is a community services agency located in downtown Frederick that offers supportive services and system navigation to LGBTQ community members in Frederick and the surrounding areas. We are also a first-year grantee, so we are strengthening a program that has already been in partnership with Frederick County Public Schools to continue to offer supportive services to school faculty through our LGBTQ 101 trainings, to also be a school liaison for when LGBTQ issues arise in schools, and then to also be an extra layer of support for LGBTQ students who are in crisis. Students can be referred to us through our website by calling the center or emailing us directly, and we will make sure that our emails are available to all of you. And that is just a really quick snapshot of who we are and what we are doing under this grant. So again, thank you for allowing us to be here.
Thanks so much, Keith. I appreciate you waiting till the end. All right, so as we close out here, we have been through all of our presenters tonight. We appreciate everyone being here with us on this Tuesday evening. I know it's not necessarily the most ideal time, but we really appreciate everyone being here and taking the time to hear more about the behavioral health supports that are available for students and their families this fiscal year. I will include the website again via email for everyone to make sure everyone has that, but the Hub website is up and working. So all of the information about the Hub is there, as well as contact information for the Hub and all 13 spokes. So it's kind of a one-stop shop. And we encourage everyone to visit there. And within the next week, the recording of this meeting will also be going up on the website as well, if anybody needs to review or wants to share it with anybody who wasn't able to attend tonight. Again, we thank you so much for being here tonight and spokes for taking the time to present and let us learn a little bit more about your services. We will end the recording there, and we will be in touch with everyone. Thank you so much.